Hello. Today we are talking about how genetically modified foods are not only bad for the environment because of pesticides, but how they are bad for you. We will each speak our individual speech, but as a group we want genetically modified foods to be stopped. Organic foods could be eaten to grow your family's life a healthy, strong, and happy one. To prove our points, we'll be talking about Monsanto, genetically modified organism company, genetically modified salmon, allergic reactions, how looks can be deceiving, why they are bad, and an overall view of things. They cause diseases and are perfectly terrible. Thank you, and we hope you agree with us. Monsanto. Monsanto's corn has caused organ damage in test rats, which means it could happen to humans too. They are reported to have kidney and liver functions. Monsanto's chemicals cause long-term damage to life on this planet, despite short-term benefits. Okay, so let's just say that Monsanto has a big economic stick. With this stick, he beats people up in the courtroom. He sues and sues and sues again because of things that happen by accident. About 400 farmers have had threats from him. One Percy Schmeiser had his farm near a road, which happened to be one Monsanto's company drove on quite a bit. One day, a tarp flew off of one of these trucks and contaminated 1,030 acres of his field. He got sued for something Monsanto's company did. Monsanto's cotton seeds ruined the lives of many cotton farmers in India. It did a lot of damage to their land. Okay, so some of Monsanto's corn that is supposed to be bug resistant have fallen over many times because of rootworms, which means there's something wrong with this corn. Genetically modified foods have been leaded by Monsanto for a while, and scientists have found that they are the cause to many health disorders and are making mutated species of bugs and weeds. Monsanto is also linked to making aspartame, which is an artificial sweetener that has caused brain tumors and other diseases.
Okay, why the FDA and GMOs are bad. The FDA has been genetically modifying salmon. They claim it is no different than regular salmon and has zero health risks. This is totally a lie, of course. The FDA has no idea what the health risks are from GM salmon, and the waiting approval of GM salmon was actually the result of criminal corruption inside the FDA, which now favors big corporate interests instead of the health and safety of people. One other bad thing the FDA is doing is, it turns out, will approve almost any poison, even one that kills people or gives them cancer. The FDA is so incredibly corrupt that it believes consumers should not even know which foods contain genetically modified ingredients. The idea that GMO foods should be honestly labeled is called highly offensive to the FDA. They want to keep consumers ignorant of what's in their food, because if people really knew what was in most of the food they buy, they would be absolutely horrified. Oh, and one more thing. GMOs are cheaper. They will make you messier and fatter. So eat healthy to live longer.
Some people are honestly messed up. I'm against genetically modified foods because they're unhealthy and have no natural taste. Also, with all the pesticides and chemicals that farmers put on these plants for no good, other than to make more money for themselves and little to give people synthetic, nasty, and not tasty fruits and vegetables to humans. Also, some of the fruits and vegetables can make people grow faster and could also make people grow faster even though they are eating fruits and vegetables which people think are fine. But the main question is, why did people get started on all this pesticide and insecticide resistant, non-free range chickens and other poultry items? Also, more and more frequently, people put enrichment items called flavor saver on their genetically modified fruits and vegetables, what makes the fruit or vegetable look like it is good. Also, I think that the best by date thing is bogus because if the item is after it has expired, it still is good because it just says that it is best by that date. What if I just need some food and I don't need it to be the best quality food in the world? I just want it to be able to I just want to be able to eat it, even though it might be past the best by date. It still is good. But the main problem with this world is that people want to make a quick buck and feed people bad food for a quick buck. People are messed up.
I chose the topic of allergic reactions to genetically modified foods. In 1996, bacteria and viruses were injected in the DNA of soy, corn, cottonseed, and canola plants. These unlabeled foods carried a risk of triggering life-threatening allergic reactions. Also in 1996, a genetically modified organism's food disaster was barely averted. Researchers learned that a Brazil nut gene that was about to be inserted in many different plants, including soybeans, could induce potentially fatal allergies in people sensitive to Brazil nuts. By 2004, farmers used an estimated 86% more herbicide on genetically modified soy fields compared to non-genetically modified soy fields. Outcrossing is the spontaneous movement of genes from genetically modified plants into conventional crops or species in the wild. This could cause a violation of food safety and food security. Food safety and food security is how safe a food is to eat. If a food does not pass food safety and food security, that means it is not safe to eat and could cause an unknown allergic reaction. One of the many companies that caused allergies is Starlink corn. This corn was injected with Cry9C protein from a common soil bacterium. The Cry9C protected the corn from black cutworms, or worms that eat the corn. Starlink corn was approved in animal feed by the EPA in 1998. But in 2000, little pieces of this corn were found in taco shells and other foods. This is believed to be the cause of the asthma attacks and allergic reactions from the tacos. These are just some of the reasons why I don't believe in GM foods.
Tricking looks. Many farmers have begun using a process called selective breeding to create organisms that have more desirable qualities. But are these qualities trustable? Many farmers have begun injecting newborn chicks with chemicals that cause them to grow twice as large in half the time it usually takes them to grow. But as they grow, their bone structure is not following their body, causing them not to be able to hold themselves up. And the effect of this is unhealthy chickens. That's what you're eating. There has also been the same problem with vegetables too. When they are first seeds, they are injected with pesticides and herbicides that cause them to look fresher and bigger as they grow. But they aren't really as new as they look. These looks are used to trick you. These tricky foods can cause you to be very sick. Thousands of people have been sick from eating foods that look fresh, but aren't really. Less and less butchers have continued slicing and preparing meat in front of public eyes. Why is this? Many people think this is because companies don't want others to see that their meat has been genetically modified and is inorganic. Companies doing this include Tyson, Monsanto, Syngenta, and more. Loads of people have heard that Monsanto's products do something funny to your body. Now companies have been ordered to put notices on all products that have been genetically modified. But why have to do all this? Why not just leave the food organic? Some people have refused to buy genetically modified foods, afraid of tampering with Mother Nature. And besides, GMO has not helped prevent world hunger as it has promised.
GMOs. GMO stands for Genetically Modified Organism. For our GMO project, I was chosen to side with the bad things about GMOs. One of the first reasons that GMOs can be harmful is that they are environmental hazards. They can cause harm to other plants and organisms and also cause plants and animals to grow at an unnatural rate. Another reason that GMOs can be considered bad is they cause human health risks. For example, there's a growing concern that GMO formula is causing unknown effects on human health. For the bad side of things, if you think about it, GMOs can be quite harmful. Like when chicks are still in their eggs, they go through a machine that injects medicine into the egg. This medicine is not really medicine, it is a GMO formula that will cause the chick to grow faster than it naturally would. GMO also costs a lot of money to grow